All right, what is up, Ivan? How's it going, man?
Fantastic. How about you?
Yeah, man, doing phenomenal myself, having a good week so far. Well, we have about 40 minutes here, so you mind if we just jump straight into it?
No, of course, yeah. I saw the ad and I've always wanted to well, control my weight a little bit better. So I feel like what you guys
Yeah,
have
man.
could be a good starting point.
Yeah, man, we'll definitely get into what we have. Let me first introduce myself and actually say what's the reason for the call is. Does that make sense? If that's okay. Yeah. So the reason for the call is I'm a metabolic advisor here at T-Shred. And, most importantly, as you mentioned, you filled out metabolic quiz and it came out of the result, which I'm going to get to in a second. But the second reason why you're here is to actually know how to lose the weight. And for me to ask you a couple questions, see where you are, where you want to go, and see if we can ultimately help you with that. So is that
Okay.
cool if we go
Yeah,
through the process? I don't know.
we can
Awesome.
go
And
through the
so
process. What are your questions?
awesome. So the first thing is the metabolic assessment quiz that you took. People in your age range would usually get it as a 7 out of 10. You're pretty young. Your came out as a 3 out of 10. Now you're not going to die. It's not the end of the world. But all that means is that it's just going to be a bit more difficult for you to lose that weight compared to other people or just using normal strategies. So does
Okay.
that surprise you at all? How do you feel about it?
I mean, to be honest, I feel okay. It's just me wanting to control that weight and health-wise, and I have energy and everything. It's just that weight that's bothering me a bit.
Yeah. Okay. Then I guess because it is a health call, let's just dive into the specifics because I just have ranges on my screen. Then let's start with where we're at. Can you give me your age, height, and body weight, please?
I thought you had it there because you told me
I have
people around your
ranges
age.
from like 20 to 29.
Oh, I'm 29.
Yeah, it's just ranges, not specifics. So if you could give me that, that'd be awesome.
29 and 92 kilograms, and I am 180.
All right. And you mentioned that you do want to lose the weight. I guess just for this specific to know how we can actually help you, like how much weight do you actually want to lose? What are you looking to achieve here?
I would say I'll be pretty happy with anything above 16 kilos.
Okay. 16 kilos to lose, then the ideal weight is like what, 76 kilos, right?
That's the math?
That's the math. Yep. All right, cool stuff. Then it's 8 kilograms. I guess when was the last time you were actually at 76 kilograms then?
Can't remember.
You're now 29. If you were to think about it, because that's important to know what the time frame was between the last time you were there. That's going to impact how we got there.
Probably 10, 15.
All right, around 10, 15 years. So when you were like 15, about
Yeah.
in the school,
Late
high school.
adolescence, I was like 17, 18.
Okay, 17, 18, so 10 years ago. And in that time frame, obviously, like quite a lot of time, right? So I guess how long have you been actually wanting to lose that weight and get back to 76?
Yeah, since I got this weight.
Since I got, so like 10 years, as soon as you start getting it. Damn, okay. So, I mean, what have you actually done to get back to 76 kilograms, if anything?
Tried going to the gym, tried being a bit more conscious with what I eat, and that's about it.
Yeah, okay, going to the gym, being a bit more conscious. What do you mean, like being a bit more conscious with the diet?
Not just default to
Anything, right?
eating whatever just to eat, but be like, okay, this that I'm gonna eat is gonna end up being thrown into my body, and something's gonna happen. I don't know what, but yeah, like maybe veggies over hot dogs, or maybe not as many burgers, all that stuff.
Okay, makes sense. Then what sort of results, did you get with those, with going to the gym and being a bit more conscious about using?
I mean, it's something that I still do a little bit, and my weight fluctuates like this up and down. But yeah, that's about it. Not massive results.
Okay, not massive. I mean, weight fluctuation is what we often hear in the space, but like, how was that for you? Was it like 1 kilogram, 5 kilograms, or did you get to 76 and then came back? Like, how was that for you exactly? Just for some context.
Yeah, I fluctuate normally like 5 kilos, maybe 5 up, 5 down. At most, like in my best times that I.
Yeah, 5 up, 5 down. So was it first down, then up, or was it that you gained like became 95 and then like below 90 kilos? Until like
It
the
depends
ranges
on
for
like what I'm doing. I just go up and down within those 5 kilos. Sometimes I'm 95, sometimes I'm 88 or something. Whenever
yeah.
I weigh myself, because I don't do that much, but it's always a different number around those, I would say.
Okay. Then what would you say has actually, prevented you from losing that weight? What like the actual reason why you're not there then and keep fluctuating?
Man, I think my metabolism is just slow as fuck, and then I give it all these things that are hard to digest as well. I'm also not that active, so that could be.
Mhm. Okay, you're not as active. Metabolism could be slower. I understand that. Do you believe that if you eat less and move a bit more, it's actually possible for you to lose the weight? Do you believe in that sort of scientific conclusion? 'Cause that's the most
Okay,
important
fine,
thing.
bro. May
Yep.
I give you some feedback?
Yep.
So I'm sleeping. I'm sleeping right here. This is boring as fuck. I'm just telling you my life stories, all facts, no emotion. And I don't want you to force emotion down my throat and be like, oh, how does it feel to be like that? No, 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 no.
Yeah.
But definitely add something, just anything of emotion so that it engages me back up. And also I think the tonality is a consequence of that. You know that you're doing sort of small talk, sort of what a
Yeah.
doctor
There's
would
no
do, which is
connection.
just asking facts. So obviously, there's not much required for you to change your tonality. If you were to change your tonality, then you're a clown because you're go like, yeah. So how much do you weigh right now? Right? It makes no fucking sense.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
just a
It's true.
medical question. So I think that there are some things that you should ask of maybe a bit of more reasoning behind things, right? Which doesn't have to go all in deep into the emotion, but a little bit of emotion so that they are engaged and so that your call doesn't end up being 2 hours long. Because the way how we're going, man, we haven't gone anywhere. And
Yeah, I mean, we identify sort of the first potential bottleneck of like, okay, externalization of like, okay, metabolism not moving, like it needs to be addressed, and then the model bottleneck is tackled, and we go into one now. But I get what you're saying. Do you feel it's still though? I do want to trust the mentor in the process, but I feel like there is no connection, so there's definitely something that's missing. For
exactly.
example, when I asked you, okay, man, cool. So you did mention that you want to lose the weight. I guess just to be super specific, like how much weight do you want to lose exactly? What are you looking to achieve? And you're like, yeah, 7 kilograms. Okay, so 76 is the goal. Yes, that's the goal. Cool. Why though? What about 76 kilograms? That seems, pretty specific.
Yeah, you
And
could have
then
asked
he
that. That's
sells you
pretty good.
something, but then you go into, okay, so then
Yeah,
for how
exactly.
long
And
have you
then
wanted
later
that
on,
for?
you go like, oh, you
Yeah.
mentioned that the reason why you want to do this, what, and then, yeah. But something that I would say is that you are too rigid, man. You have this doctor attitude to you where
Mm-hmm.
you take so long to ask questions. You're like, because it is a medical call and everything and that. So I'm gonna need you to tell me this, and that, and all those things put you already in the headspace of a doctor. When in
That's
reality,
true.
you have more authority actually if you go straight to the point and you ask straight up, "Hey man, can you please tell me what's your weight, number, and whatever?" Right? Instead of
Mm-hmm.
justifying or like I forgot exactly what you mentioned, but oh yeah, just to just do whatever. You're justifying yourself and then asking. For that reason, I have to ask you. Exactly. And then I tell you like, oh yeah, I want to lose 7 kilos. And I'm like, okay, let me do the math. Oh, that means that you're gonna no need for that, man. You just tell them, hey, so you're gonna do so you wanna be 70. Okay, yeah, and then just ask the next question. They'll interrupt you if you're wrong. Yeah, yeah. I'm not telling you to not ask it at all or not frame nothing or not justify yourself, but just a little bit. And maybe you could even do it a little bit better. So instead of because this is a medical call, because no one cares about if it's a medical call or not, you go ahead and say, just so that I can understand you, what's your boom, boom, boom? They know it's a medical call. They know that you're a consultant or whatever. Maybe they don't, but you said that in the intro already. So you go, oh, just so that I can understand you. Oh, he wants to understand me. Okay, that makes me feel something towards this person. And then he puts you in authority position. Because a doctor that says, just because it is a doctor consultation, and well, that's a doctor that is a newbie, exactly. And then not only that, it takes authority from him. Because if they see the fucking code and the walls that are fucking white, and the guy says, what's your this, and that? Not 1 second goes by and they're trying to give you as much detail about their body as possible. Yeah. Or maybe it isn't, but you already mentioned, man. Yeah. So I would say before we touch the how to's on reframes and bottlenecks and all these things, let's fix sort of like that attitude. So I would say from the top. Okay. And the people are telling them a lot of data or they're just telling them the facts and that's it. Okay. Yeah. That's the thing. That's the thing. And then not only that, so I think that you're trying to be him so much and trying to copy his style so much that it's not. Maybe it would work in a real call with a real client who's worried and who's willing to give you all these things. But hey, I'm not playing the smoothest prospect ever. I'm not gonna give you everything because then there would be no point. So either you go ahead and go blind into the real world to see if it works there, or you change your approach and find out how Andrew would do it and not how Andrew trying to imitate Dan would do it. And you don't have to ask why again. You don't have to ask why. So yeah, no, that's good. That's perfect. we're not even touching that. We're just saying that it took you a long time and a lot of disengagement from me to get to that point, right? So, and I don't know what is it that it's keeping you staying stuck on asking all these, trying to justify yourself, having this rigid frame, doctor frame, a lot of facts, one after the other after the other. So it might be not what, it may not be that you have to put more emotion into the equation, but just less of everything else so that you get a lot faster into the bottleneck. Exactly. Yeah, exactly. And what I've seen in addition to that, to maybe just getting rid of things, and yeah, what you mentioned is more that the bottleneck has three requisite questions, and that's how long have you been trying to do something, what have you tried, and then what's preventing you. And then obviously, like another two questions that are very important to know is that where do you want to go and where you at right now, so that it's obviously a logical and feasible gap, right? And then all these three are the ones that in the road from here to here, they're standing there. What have you tried? How long? And what has been preventing you straight up? Yeah, it gives you leverage, because then it's not like A and B. Is A from a point of feelings, and then there's B from a point of feelings. So that's why I personally like to go into deep pain, and why before that, before even getting commitment even. But as we established before, not necessary. Exactly. Yeah, and that's why I came up with this like fact, emotion, logic, emotion thing, because ultimately the reason why you're asking the logic question is to find out that emotion. Yeah, however you want. So however you feel it, man. Yeah. So let's go from the top. Hello? Yeah. Yeah, bro, don't try to get it perfect. Let's just go and we'll fix along the way. I'm gonna probably make you restart a couple times. Okay? Yeah. Just go blank and let's trial and error for a little bit. Get loose and let's train, bro. Let's go. Hello. Yeah. Man, I think like your Wi-Fi is lagging a little bit. Okay. Yeah, let's go. Hello. Good. What's up, man? What's happening? Okay. I'm gonna stop recording